I'm going live. Good evening. How's everyone doing? I hope that your day has been amazing. There have been so many wonderful, wonderful things that have happened and been going on in my life. And I want to share with you all just a few of them. I want to make sure that you are getting an opportunity to not just follow me and catch up with me, but that you're also getting a chance to see, hear, interact, find out what's going on, enjoy the rest of your day, get out in the sun, enjoy some of this beautiful sunlight and weather. I know it's been record heat in certain places, but in other places, it's been really nice. So it just depends on what you like. Some people love the heat, some people all in the water, and they're like, yes, let's do that. But let's talk about why we're here right now. This is day 17. Um, I got so tied up and tangled up in everything that I was getting done and working on some things that day 16 did not happen. However, I did upload the information on the private Facebook group. And so if you want it, go get it. But let's talk about it, okay? Day 17, simple and really straightforward to the point. Connect with family and or a friend today. Healthy connection heals, right? Ecclesiastes 4, verse 9 through 10. And then our gratitude prompt is, who am I thankful for today? Simple question, right? So who are you thankful for today? Let's get into this and let's really, really enjoy this. So, good evening, everyone. Today is day 17 of the Training for Life 30-day growth, healing, and accountability journey. Our focus is healthy connection heals. So, because this is for some people, it may be a low capacity day or maybe a high capacity day, whichever. I want you to remember you don't have to do everything. But if you want to just send someone a text and just tell them you're thinking about them and you love them. If you're not low capacity, you can call them. You can sit with them, have lunch with them, go to their house and have coffee or tea. Send a voice message, sing them a song, or simply just say, I was thinking about you today. How are you? Right? I do my sister check ins. Hi, sis. How are you doing today? I love you, beautiful. Send those messages. Check on your strong friends, right? Those ones who check on everybody else, but we forget about sometimes. Check on your strong friends today, right? So Ecclesiastes 4, verse 9 says this: two are better than one because they have good reward for their labor. Ecclesiastes 4 and 10 says, for if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he have not another to help him up. I need for you to understand something. I was talking to a girlfriend, and she was saying how she is recovering from a surgery. And she was saying how she was nervous about not having anyone at the house with her when she got ready to get in the shower. And I told her, when I had surgery on my foot and it was non-weight bearing for like 16 weeks, I understand. I said it was, I laugh about it now, but it wasn't so funny then. But when I went to the doctor for my checkup, um, they were like all the bruises because I was trying to learn how to maneuver first with that little scooter thing, a little scooter where you put your knee on it and you are actually you put your knee on it and you're actually like pushing yourself along on your good leg, and your other one is on your knee is on the little seat. It had the little soft cushy memory foam stuff on the seat. I had top notch, right, with the handlebars, with the basket in the front, and the little. I almost broke my doggone neck with that doggone scooter. And by the time I got to the follow-up visit at the doctor's office, like I said, I was black and blue, and I'm a little light, so yeah, it was bruises. And they pulled me aside and had my husband sit down in the waiting room, and they were like, "Are you safe?" And so she said, "I don't want to be put in that situation." She was like, "I don't want to fall either." So yeah, I just wait till someone gets here. So if you've ever had that experience, you know what I'm talking about. but learning how to manage your weight on crutches, learning how to use those little scooters. I went on here and I blessed somebody with that scooter because I was about to kill myself on that thing because you push off and it just keeps rolling. I was like, oh no, this is not it. This is not for me. So I hope some of y'all got a laugh out of that. But with that being said, it was an interesting time and it was um, definitely lived out this verse. I was alone while my husband was at work, and I had to get my lunch to my bedroom where I had, the big memory foam thing that hold my leg up above my heart, all that stuff. Well, I had all that stuff, had all of it. But guess what? I still had to get the stuff from one place to the other. Now, the basket on the front was convenient. It was helpful. Absolutely. But baby, the way I was falling into the wall, the way I was trying to maneuver crutches over carpet. Yeah, it was a whole ordeal. So we were never designed to carry everything alone ourselves. We weren't. Because guess what? If we were designed to carry everything alone, we wouldn't need each other. But we understand that we need each other to survive. We need each other to keep going. We need each other, right? That was why growing up, we had a village. Like the children now, I feel sorry for them because they're missing out on some beautiful and amazing times, right? If you're with me, you can get your heart meets while you're here and so forth. But they're missing out on some amazing times to know the names of the neighbors that are on their street, to be able to know all the kids in the community. Everybody played together. We all grew up together. We all laughed, had fun. Didn't matter the different age groups. We all figured out something to do together that we were all right there together and had fun, right? So healthy connection, it does not mean that you have 100 people all around you at all times. No, it means that having relationships where there is care, there's support, there's a belonging, there's an honesty, and there's a mutual respect. How many of you remember those type of relationships? How many of you all still have those types of relationships, right? Can I tell you that it has been emphasized that the quality and function of our relationships matter, not simply how many people we know, but how many supportive relationships that can help us cope with stress, life experiences, cope with trauma, cope with the feeling of overwhelmingness, cope with isolation and loneliness. I saw so many people during the time of we were experiencing COVID that it literally uh, floored me. How many people struggled because they did not have that other interaction with people on a regular basis. And that's when we as a people started understanding, hey, that person who talk all the time at work, and I kind of want to roll my eyes sometimes, I miss that because that was still interaction, right? That person who was always cracking those dad jokes at the job, who I was like, oh my goodness, here he come again. But you missed that during COVID. And there was a need for it. It was necessary. It was a need for it, right? Okay. So I just need for you all to understand we need each other to survive. So hear me clearly. Today's assignment does not mean that you reconnect with someone who is unsafe, someone who has harmed you in the past or violated you, or consistently disrupts and goes and pushes your boundaries or is disruptive to your living space or your well-being. No, healthy connections and healthy boundaries belong in the same conversation as well as the same relationship. Understand? We're clear. Great. So if you have been grieving a loved one, if you've been feeling overwhelmed, if you've been feeling like withdrawing lately from the public, today's connection can be very small, right? It can be a text message, it can be a phone call, it can be a simple email, or just you calling when you know somebody's busy while they're at work and can't answer their phone and you leave them a voicemail, right? It can be just that small. One person, one conversation, one sincere moment. So today's gratitude prompt: who am I thankful for today? Who? Think of someone who presents themselves or whose presence in your life, right, reminds you that you don't have to walk through everything alone. Who is that person? Who is that person that makes you laugh when you didn't want to? Who's that person that when you're crying, they'll cry with you and then they're going to help you and they're going to pass you some tissue and tell you blow your nose because, you got a little stuff right there. And then they're going to pick on you and y'all going to laugh some more. And, and you're going to get through this. Who is that person? Who is your person, right? And then if you can say who that person is, when was the last time you told them that? When was the last time you let them know that I truly appreciate our friendship? I truly appreciate your sense of humor. And more importantly, I appreciate the love that you show me, and how you show up in my life. So today's declaration is this: I give myself permission to receive healthy connection. Who's with me? I will honor the people who strengthen, support, and genuinely care for me while maintaining my boundaries that protect my well-being. I do not have to carry everything alone. Oh, I apologize. I thought this wrinkle was down. So, who's with me on that? Like, do you feel that? Because at the end of the day, if you cannot have those conversations, and if you cannot interact with people and it not be a violation of your boundaries, it not be you feeling like you're abandoning yourself, or you feeling like this is an intrusion in your space, right? Then maybe you should have stuck with a text, right? Maybe that email would be good. Maybe, just maybe. Leaving a voicemail while they're working and busy, that'll work. Or call them when you're on your way into, say, the grocery store where it's a little bit loud, or a restaurant. Hey, I just was, you came across my mind. I just want to let you know I love you and I was thinking about you and I want to see how you're doing today. They'll say how they're doing. Great. This was going to be a short conversation because I didn't have much time, but when you hit my heart, I wanted to just reach out, right? Something really simple. It didn't have to be complicated. You don't have to make it all structured, all that stuff. Just something really simple. That's enough for today. If today's a low capacity day, send out the text and keep it moving. Period. So, two are better than one because they have good reward for their labor. The two are better than one. And this doesn't mean that everyone must be constantly and consistently around other people, or surrounded by people, right? It reminds us that the value of companionship, partnership, and community is important. It's super important. Don't get me wrong. Independence can be healthy, but isolation is something different, right? You can be strong and still need people. You can be capable and still receive support, and it not be a whole indictment against you. Does that make sense? You can get your heartbeats if this is touching you. Again, we're talking about the 30-day journey of us learning how to trust ourselves again. 30-day journey of us being accountable, growing, healing together, right? So the second half of that says this: because they have good reward for their labor. Healthy relationships can multiply what individuals are able to accomplish, right? What they're able to endure, what they're able to learn, because you have someone to help you and you all vibe off each other, right? Or what you all experience together. You're stronger together. In the marriage ceremony, the minister would say that threefold cord, right? You, the husband, the wife, and and God, right? That threefold cord, it can't easily be broken. So when you think about it in that sense, the two of you together supporting each other through whatever, it gives you an extra level and layer of strength and protection, right? So I want to ask you something. Who strengthens you rather than simply consumes from you, or drains you? Who strengthens you when you're around them? Who is that person? What's their name? When was the last time you told them that? When was the last time you actually thanked them for being that supportive platform, or shoulder, or voice of reason in your life? Right. And so let's go to the second verse that goes with this, Ecclesiastes 4, verse 10. It says, for if they fall, The one will lift up his fellow. But woe to the one who is alone and falls, for he has no other to help him up. Think about this now. If they fall, scripture acknowledges something very important there, that people fall, right? We experience grief, we experience exhaustion, we make mistakes, we forget stuff, we encounter seasons when our usual strength is not available or is not enough to carry us through. And during that time, this is when it's great to have that person who will check on you, who will come and pick you up, who will come and say, look, we're not gonna waddle in this. We're gonna get up, we're gonna go out in the sun, we're gonna ground ourselves in the grass. We're gonna, as adults, we're gonna draw some hopscotch blocks on the sidewalk with some chalk, and we're gonna jump and bounce, and we're gonna laugh at all the stuff that's shaking and jiggling, and we're gonna keep it moving, right? Because we're gonna be okay, right? The one will lift up his fellow. Healthy relationships provide support without requiring us to pretend that we never struggle. How many of us know people that pretend that they never struggle? Like you never see those bad days. You never hear about those hard moments. Because I'm going to tell you, I'll let you know this is a low capacity day, but how can I help you? Right? Sometimes lifting someone means listening to what they're going through. Sometimes it means praying for them. Sometimes it means checking in on them when you know they're going through something and you haven't heard from them in a couple of days. Sometimes it means simply sitting quietly while they deal with the emotions, right? Sometimes it means providing practical help. But more importantly, I want to remind you this. What a person cannot see while they're overwhelmed may be the very thing that you're absolutely like spot on with. And so being that friend who shows up and has the gift of presence when a person is going through, when your friend is going through, when your sister or brother is going through, being that person who shows up and says, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to stick closer than a brother. I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to speak life into your situation until life becomes the situation, right? And then it says, when he falleth, difficulty is not evidence that you are defective. Difficulty is not evidence that you don't deserve good. It's not an indictment against you. It simply is a moment, right? And so the way I always say it, accountability is not only about who celebrates when you're winning. It's also about who can safely support you when you are struggling. Who is your safe support? Who is your safe place? And so I want to tell you this. So social connections are involved in like a number of people, variety of places and spaces, and a different quality and quantity and functions in our relationships because of social media, right? It has drastically changed how we interact with people. Supportive relationships are associated with better stress management, better sleep quality, mental health, right? Overall health improving, right? The world is taking loneliness serious nowadays. I know that there have been studies done by WHO, the World Health Organization, and all those things that talk about how you can have people on social media who have thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of followers, right? And in their personal life, they feel absolutely alone. They feel abandoned, they feel nervous, they feel overwhelmed, and everything they show on social media is literally a highlight reel and it's a clip and a snapshot. But guess what? No one knows the tears they're crying. No one knows the loneliness they're feeling. No one knows the self-consciousness that they're struggling with. No one knows the low self-esteem they're battling. No one knows, right? So this is called social health, and it receives attention right now alongside of physical and mental health. Why? Because social media has become such a major part of our lives. Now, wouldn't you know it that we would have access to some of the greatest levels of communication, greatest levels of connection. And we are more alone, more isolated now than we've ever been as a people. Quality matters more than collecting people. Like, I can't stress this enough. Yes, I have a lot of people that I know. I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of people that we consider ourselves to be friends. But then I have a circle of people I call my sister friends, right? And these ladies, we have done life together. We have done deaths, divorce, breakups, heartaches, sickness, dis-ease, disorders, um, diagnoses, um, loss. I mean, whatever you think about, weight gain, weight loss, surgery. We've done life together. And when one of us reach out to the other, we respond. No questions asked, no hesitation. We respond. If you're available, we respond. If you're able, we respond. If you need something, I have it, you got it, it's yours. No question asked. But how many of you have a ton of social media followers, but you don't have that many actual friends that you see, that you lay eyes on, that you can put hands on, that you can actually wrap your arms around, that will tell you, I know that today is a rough day. I see you. Like, I have one friend who called me on the 13th. 13th was my biological father's birthday. For some reason, ever since he was murdered, it's been years, it's been decades. But it still affects me because it was so sudden and there were some unsaid things. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done the inner work and I'm healed and we are whole and all those things, and that's beautiful, but there's still a loss. Like you only get one father. Don't get me wrong, I have some amazing bonus dads, but my biological father, the one I look like, the one I talk like, the one I act like, the one I have some temperament from, he's gone. And so when I think about how much he wanted a son, and I was his only, and I had boys, and he was so happy. He was overjoyed, and he never got a chance to meet my youngest son, the one who has his sense of humor, the one who has his, they both have his charisma, but they both look like him. So, but to not be able to meet him, you know, and my son to hear stories and to say, I wish I had have had that opportunity. Those things matter. So think about these relationships. Think about it. Today's challenge is not about increasing your following count on social media. It's not. It's about true connection, right? It's about you reaching out to some people and just letting them know you're my person. I appreciate you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made it through the last couple of seasons. And I thank you for being phenomenal. I thank you for being the amazing, loving version of you, right? So these social connections, they involve whether relationships providing that belonging or the caring or the support. People honestly feel like their social connections are meaningful interactions. But then when things happen, these same connections can be the very reason why they feel so isolated, because there's no one that they can actually put their hands on that's right there with them. So let's talk about small check-ins. They matter. I recommend simple connection practices, right? This is what I recommend. This is actually, I found out that the CDC recommends this too. So that's in my research. I was like, oh, really? Okay, really? Okay. So, hey, but here's the thing. Practice reaching out to someone, spending some quality time with someone, expressing gratitude for something that they've done, who they are, for how they are, volunteering somewhere where you are passionate about what's going on. Volunteer, participate in some community activity, even if it's just going and working in the community garden that people have in their communities, working in the library, volunteering in the library. I need for you all to understand something. The more you interact with people face to face, the more you keep that um, human nature that we naturally have, that longing and desiring for connection with people, it becomes fulfilled because you have interacted with someone, because you laid eyes on them, you spoke to them, you could smell their smells, you could touch them. You all can sit down and eat, and you making memories because your olfactory senses and your taste buds and all that are being involved, right? And the laughing and the crying or the cheering at games or whatever it is, all of those things contribute to the memories, which contribute to you feeling more involved, more connected. Does that make sense? So consistency strengthens relationships. How consistently are you interacting with someone, expressing gratitude for people, volunteering, participating in community involvement, right? And spending quality time with people. So I want you to do this. I recommend this, and it's been recommended several different times in different places in different ways. Um, don't get me wrong, your social media connections, they're wonderful. That's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing, right? But I recommend investing time in relationships through that consistent, frequent, high quality engagement, human engagement, face to face, right? Grief can affect us differently, affects each person differently, right? The death of a loved one, separation from a friend or a family member, caregiving responsibilities are major because the baby boomers are exploding, right? The numbers of the baby boomers are exploding, right? And so when you think about this, even those who are in retirement now, health problems, mobility limitations, and major life transitions, all of these things increase vulnerability to loneliness and isolation. So when you know that someone is, like I have a girlfriend who had surgery on her knee. So she is doing her therapy in her house. She is in her house and she's not coming out, but to go to the appointments and da da da, right? So what are we doing? I'm too far away to show up, so I can video call with her. And that's what I did. I can call her and check on her. I can send her a text message so I don't want to wake her if she's in pain or having pain and took some meds and she's resting. So I'll text, when you wake up, give me a call. I'm just checking on you, doing my sister check-in. How are you doing? Letting you know I love you, you are loved, and someone is, making sure that you're good. I didn't hear from you yesterday. I'm gonna need to hear your voice today because I didn't hear from you yesterday. I just need to make sure you're good. So here's that reminder. Sometimes we'll draw during grief. It can be understandable. It can be needed and necessary, right? But the goal is not to focus or to force constant socialization. It's not. It's to make sure that isolation does not quietly become your only coping strategy. How many of us know some people who shut down and they shut down and we're like, what is going on? I've been there recently. And so I want you all to know that it happens. It happens to a lot of us. And in those times, it's those people who check on their strong friends. It's those calls that say, what you got going on? What you doing? What's up? How can I help? What do you need? They mean everything during those times, right? So technology can support our connections now. So you can do phone calls, you can do texting, you can do emails, video calls, video chats, communication tools such as maintaining a relationship with when in-person connection is difficult, right? Like my girlfriend, she is at her house and she's healing. So I'm not trying to get there. What I'm trying to do is make sure that she's okay and that, someone is checking in on her on a regular basis. So communication technology, among other things, can be a part of the strategy to help you stay connected. But please don't make that your only connection. We've got to have that human interaction, right? Digital communication can support relationships, absolutely, but it does not automatically create closeness. It does not. And intentional engagement matters, especially when you're going through or growing through a situation, as I say, right? Faith communicates that You have that 1 or 2 times, if not more, a week where you're going to go to the house of faith or you're going to go to wherever you worship and you have a community there, right? So that's a faith community. And that community can help people get through those bouts of loneliness and social isolation. But connection should not eliminate boundaries, though. I need for you to hear me. We've been talking about boundaries for a while now because boundaries protect you, they help you, they strengthen your trust in you, right? Healthy connection does not require unlimited access to you. Just because you have a connection with this person does not mean that they get all access passes to every part of your life whenever they want. You are not being asked to return to harmful relationships. I tell you again, you're not being asked to tolerate disrespect or dishonor. You're not even being asked to override the boundaries that we discussed on day 13, right? But here's the thing. Connection without discernment can become depletion. Boundaries without connection can become isolation. And so what we're doing is seeking healthy connection with healthy limits. Can I see somebody say that in chat? Healthy connections with healthy limits. Is that too hard? So let's talk about the 10 questions that came to me for this topic, right? Why does connection matter so much? And remember, if you have the calendar, you will know ahead of time what the topic is for the day. And you can get that from the private Facebook group or my YouTube channel, which is I Am Training the number 4 Life. I Am Training for Life. Okay. So human connection can provide emotional support, practical assistance, belonging, that sense of belonging, that companionship, and help during difficult life events. Stronger social connections is associated with better health and a better sense of well-being and mental health. Sometimes healing requires solitude, but we were not created to remain permanently disconnected. You have to come out of the cave. Question number 2. Do you have to see someone in person today? No, you don't. You can call someone, you can text, you can do a video chat, you can send a voice note, a voice message, or an email. Not limiting how. I just want you to connect with someone, though, right? Because we're recognizing that communication technology, I promise you, it's one legitimate way to maintain social connection. But when there's an opportunity for face-to-face interaction, please take that opportunity. I promise you, because of the technology, it has made it difficult in some situations to do face-to-face. But when you can, whoo, get it in. See someone, right? Number 3, what if I am too tired for a conversation? Send one word text. You crossed my mind today. I just wanted you to know that I love you and I appreciate you. That counts. On a low capacity day, oh, you performing high. Low capacity does not mean no connection. It just simply means that my connection may look slightly different today, right? What if I enjoy being alone? Solitude and loneliness are not the same thing. So diminish loneliness. I don't want you to diminish loneliness because some people think, oh, I just like being alone. And then before they know it, they're agoraphobic, right? They're stuck in the house. They're stuck where they are and they can't go out because they simply cannot deal with the influx of the amount of interaction and stimulation that they get from being in public places with other people. You don't want that to happen to you, and it can happen. Even to some strong people, it can happen. So the NIA distinguishes loneliness. It says that the distress of feeling disconnected from social isolation, which involves having few social contacts. Mind you, This is not talking about social media. Someone can live alone without feeling lonely, while another person can feel lonely while they're in a crowded room. Healthy solitude can restore you. Isolation can deplete you. Number 5. What if I'm grieving and I do not feel like talking? Honor your capacity. I told you, low capacity, honor your capacity. I'm not wanting you to fix or to force yourself to do anything that you do not mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually have the capacity to do. Right? Grief and a death of a lost one, or a relationship, or loss of a job, or all of the things that cause us to feel nervous, all those things that cause us to feel overwhelmed, anxious. I'm not asking you to throw yourself into one of those situations. What I'm saying is you can increase your vulnerability of to isolation because you are dealing with any of those situations. But here's the thing. Today, I want you to simply make a connection, right? I'm not asking you how, I'm not asking you, I'm not putting any limitations on it. I just want you to make a connection, right? How much energy today? I don't have much. So guess what? I'm not going to do much. But if it's not a low capacity day, get out in the world and connect with some people. But do not do it just because I'm saying so. Go do something fun that you love to do. But I don't want you to disappear if you need a low capacity day and you want to stay isolated. Send the text, send the email, send a voice message, right? I'm thinking about you. That is enough. I'm not asking you to do a whole bunch of heavy lifting. We're going to keep it simple, right? Kiss. So, number 6, do I have to reconnect with someone who hurt me? Absolutely not. Remember, I said that earlier. Do not put yourself in any danger. Do not put yourself in any situation that compromises your health, your safety, your mental health, your emotional well-being. None of that. This challenge is about healthy connections, not forced reconciliations. Okay? No. Choose someone who feels safe, who supports you, who is respectful, someone who appreciates who you are for who you are, and someone who you appreciate for their life and how they've shown up in your life for you, right? Forgiveness, reconciliation, access, and trust are not identical things. They're all different. Know the difference. Number 7, what if I don't have close friends? Begin right where you are. You have a family member, right? A neighbor, a coworker, a support group that you may go to, a community organization that may be having an event in the park. I know today is Monday. In Atlanta, they have the Wednesday wind down, right? Excuse me. They have the Wednesday wind downs. You can go and listen to, some nice music, nice artists singing, enjoy yourself, dance a little, all those things, right? But you're in a group of people, so you can get a chance to talk to people and interact, right? Community organizations, volunteering opportunities. Check to see if the local church, local food bank, if they need volunteers. Kids are going back to school. See if they need some parents to show up and help the teachers with the smaller kids in the classroom, right? The faith community. See if there's something you can do at the church to help out. Do the bathrooms need to be cleaned? Does the office needs to be straightened out or cleaned up, or there's need to be some disinfecting done? Does it need to, volunteer and ask and find out, is there a place that you can volunteer and give some help and have some interactions, right? So the CDC, the HHS, and the NIA, all of these agencies, as well as T4L, we all recommend building connections through the community participation, through shared interest, through volunteering, and through consistent engagement. Because guess what? This life is lonely enough. This life is hard enough. And if you can do this life with someone else, then by all means, do just that, right? Number 8, the social media count as connection. It can help maintain relationships. It can, particularly when distance and mobility makes in-person contacts or connections difficult, right? But simply scrolling is not the same as meaningful interactions. Caught that? Turning consumption into connection doesn't happen. You can send a message. You can leave the thoughtful comment, right, on a post. You can make the call. You can schedule the visit. Those are meaningful interactions. Number 9, what makes a relationship healthy? Okay, so looking for relationships that allow some combination of respect, safety, reciprocity, honesty, support, healthy boundaries, and the ability to be yourself in the relationship. You don't need every person to fulfill every rational need or relational need. You simply need that 1 or 2 people who understand you, who get you, and who are willing to show up for you, right? And number 10, when should loneliness become something that I discuss with a professional? I thought that was a good question, right? If loneliness or isolation begins to become persistent, significantly affecting your functions, or occurs alongside substantial depression, anxiety, withdrawal, sleep changes, or other concerning symptoms, I want you to consider at that time discussing it with a healthcare professional or a mental health professional, please. Um, One of the industry standards encourages reaching out to a professional for support when loneliness and major losses and social disconnection is affecting your well-being. And only you can answer that, right? So let's talk about some tools for our tool belt. Today, I want you to practice 4 steps. The first one is called care. Care. C. Choose one person today. One person who feels safe, who feels supportive, and who feels meaningful. One person. A. Ask sincerely. Ask that person, how are you doing today? How are you really doing? R. Receive. Listen without immediately trying to judge them or fix them or, make a suggestion. Listen, connect with them. Don't sit there and try to correct them. Connect with them, right? And don't redirect the conversation back to yourself. Please and thank you. Simple enough. Last letter is E for express appreciation. Tell them specifically something that you appreciate about them. If it's something hard, then guess what? There might not be any respect or appreciation there. So we're not going to fake it, but let's be honest with ourselves and with others, right? Low capacity version. So if today is especially high for you, like I don't have much capacity today, but I want to know what I can be grateful for, right? I want you to just stop. Remember the pause? We talked about it. Remember, take the deep breath in your nose to the count of 4. Hold at the top to the count of 4. Breathe out your mouth to the count of 6. I want you to know that even the smallest interactions count. And I'm not trying to force you to interact with anybody for any reason about anything, okay? Do what's comfortable and what's best for you. Do what's conducive for you. So here's the reminder. Healthy connection is about quality, not popularity. One meaningful person can matter more than hundreds of surface level interactions. You are allowed to receive support. Tell yourself that I'm allowed to receive support. Connection does not require self-abandonment. Tell yourself, I'm never going to abandon myself again. Healthy boundaries still apply. You don't have to reconnect with unsafe people. Gratitude may make connection harder. Excuse me, grief may make connection harder, but gratitude may make it easier. So make today's action smaller than the thing that you feel like it needs to be if you are on a low capacity day. Don't just disappear. Do enough to say, I honored my word. Okay? And so digital connections can be useful when physical presence is not possible. When it's not possible, right? Tell people you appreciate them while you have the opportunity. No one is promised tomorrow. No one knows who's going to wake up tomorrow. So you want to tell people today, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. Right? And you do not have to carry everything alone. So here's the last declaration. Ready? Let's go. I give myself permission to receive healthy connection. I honor the people God has placed in my life who encourage me, strengthen me, support me, and genuinely care for me. I will remain open to meaningful relationships while maintaining healthy boundaries. Who needs to hear that one again? I will remain open to meaningful relationships while maintaining healthy boundaries. I do not have to carry everything alone. And so remember, your gratitude prompt is, who am I thankful for today? Think about that. And remember, go to the private Facebook group, 30-day journey of growth, healing, and accountability. And if you did everything and you connected with a person or two, then put a green and white check mark there. If you had to make some modifications, put a purple heart there. And if by chance today was a day you had to rest and recover and return tomorrow, put a green leaf. And with that being said, I thank you all for joining me. I'm excited because we are really, truly having some amazing testimonies coming in, and people are really grateful for this time to be transparent and to have a community that supports them. So I love you all to life. Go forth and have an amazing and wonderful evening. Goodbye.